Hey, what's up everyone? So we have this Stihl here, not 100% sure what it is off the top of my head. It's kind of worn down. However, owner says it's broken. Very detailed. So I think we're going to go through it together and see what's wrong with it. Granted, you probably already know what it is because it's the name of the video, and probably somewhere in this area it's showing what's wrong, at least the title of it. So you probably know before I do. First thing that I did check is I checked to see if because this is a Combi unit, the end, if there's where the rod slips in, sometimes it can get egged out and get circular instead of square. It's nice and square. This has a aluminum clip for the shaft, and it usually breaks. It's intact, so we're good at least for those two things. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna do something with the motor. If I did say or guess, it's going to be something to do with the valves or something to do with the fuel system, because when I lift it up, it's compression, yes, but not all that great. So I think we're going to turn it on if we can and take a look. I realize I haven't checked the fuel yet, so let's go ahead and do that. TIG torch is what I use to kind of hold the end of it. Actually looks really blue and doesn't look green, or I smell it right now. It seems to be pretty fresh. So far we're in a pretty good area. We're going to prime it a few times. Okay, let's see what we get. It's already on choke, which I didn't really do, so that's interesting. Well, a lot of junk came out of it, so okay. Okay. So it looks like it starts and dies. So I think we at least know what was going on. I was about to disconnect the video and stop it. I got a comment, it's like, why don't you work on it and put it back together? That way you know exactly what's going on. Where's the drama in that? Where's the turmoil? Where's the suspense? If I know what's going on, then you'd never really get a true reaction. It's like watching all those Instagram or TikTok videos where the true reaction is being played. Disconnect the spark plug. So that's why. Hopefully this isn't super hot. Not really supposed to be doing this when it's super hot. And from the lack of movement on this, it hasn't been off either for a very long time or ever. There we go. I think I'm actually going to remove the spark plug. One, spark plugs are like the window to the soul for a machine, and two, it makes it easier for me to work on. So this is the exhaust. It's tight. Like, I'll insert metaphor here, and not really supposed to be. Like, yes, metal will expand when it's warm, don't get me wrong, but one, I could put my fingers on it, it's not going to burn me, and two, it's should at least have a little bit of a gap even when it's warm, and this is none. And let's get you a better viewing angle. Hopefully I can still work with you there, but like I said, this valve is down. That's up now, obviously. Now that valve is going down, which is the exhaust. Let's work on this one. Now, this has a little bit of play. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Like I said, this is not very long. It is a little warm. And the correct shim does go in, so I don't suspect the intake is the problem. It's 4,000s. Let's go back down. Now inevitably someone's going to think you have to do this at top dead center. I do not like doing top dead center one bit. There's too many variables, especially with the compression release engine. I just don't want to. So let's look at this one. See how like my fingers aren't moving at all? I mean, I suppose I could get it to move, but I really have to try. And that's not even beginning to be able to slip in between the gap. So Stihl has a special type of system where the end of the rocker arm, it's like a little U that goes over the stem of the valve to kind of hold it in place. I mean, it works, don't get me wrong. The problem is you can't really get a feeler gauge in there until you modify it. So I just took a really thin feeler gauge and I just modified it so it can go in there. This is a 5/16 or 8mm driver. So if you want to tighten it, it's going to lower the... Tightening it is going to minimize the gap. Loosening it is going to increase the gap. So we're going to increase it. Now when you take a measurement, you want to move it a little bit, and you don't want your driver or whatever you're using on top of the rocker, because that can influence it a little bit. Not enough. Now, one would say, well, I just turn it around like 2 times. These are so minuscule in their changes. Like, you'll do, let's see, 360 for a circle, 15 degrees, and it'd be too much. And then you do like 7, and it's going to be pretty much a-okay. And then the fine details are like 1 degree at a time, if that. Probably is at least 1. See, now it's nice and tight. Let's go ahead and pull it over a little bit. Now let's go back to the intake valve being down. Try this again. The intake valve is down, right? Yeah, it was. Still kind of tight again. Don't know why that happened. Last time that occurred, there's a problem with the valve. But so now it's too tight or too loose. So we're going to tighten it and then tighten it. It's a little bit too tight. That's probably okay. Yeah. Now let's try this again. See why cycling the valves a little bit is important. I really want it to be in its correct seating location and kind of ran through its motions a little bit. It's nice and loose again. Well, not super loose. And it fits, and it's pretty good. It's a little hard with you in the way. I have to kind of go at an angle, but it's doing pretty good now. So I say we are going to take the cover, find the screw. Okay, so I'm just going to put the spark plug back in, and we're going to turn it back on, see what happens. Something I've been meaning to say for the last couple of videos, I've been forgetting. Stay tuned to the end. This may fix yours, but this isn't the only fix for this problem. I'll explain what you should look at next. Just because if this doesn't fix it, I at least want to give you the right path, or a path. I mean, who knows if it's the right path? I don't know what your problem is, but at least give you something to go off of. Let's try no choke. Let's try revving it up. It is pretty cold. Man. That really spun up a little too fast. So I'm going to probably play with the tuning a little bit, because I think over the course of time kind of got out of tune in addition to that, but let's give it a try one more time. Yeah. I definitely need to tune it. The RPM ranges are a little high for my liking, but that's not part of the video. That's just because the idle's way too high, and kind of seems like it might be running a little lean to begin with. But that's not too uncommon when these get a little older. Kind of need to adjust them periodically. So, having said that, it didn't die. We were able to rev it up. It didn't really die until I turned it off, and everything seems like it's doing pretty good, with the exception of just a general tuning. So if you're having this problem where it's either very hard to start or dies pretty quickly after you get it started or in the middle of what you're doing, what will end up happening is the valves will just start to lose their gap, and that actually won't build any compression. This is a 4-mix, unlike a normal 2-cycle, but that doesn't have valves. This does, so you end up having 4-cycle problems on a 2-cycle motor. But you know, whatever, that's how Stihl wanted to do it. Another thing you could do is you could check the air filter. You can always check the spark plug to see if the spark plug is fouled. If it's fouled, super carbony, that could be part of the problem. To be honest, that will probably cause it to not start at all. But it is something to at least check. More likely than not, though, if you're having this problem, you have carb issues. So definitely at least check those two easy items off your list first, and then go ahead and check the harder carb problem. Either clean it, replace it, whatever you want to do. Go ahead and leave you with that. Follow me on Instagram at SmallEngine101. If you like what you see, keep watching, subscribe. Definitely put a thumbs up if it's helped you out. It definitely helps me out when you do that. And I'll catch you in the next one. Have a good night.